2022 and I'm still a savage. Whatever I want, I get. Whatever I want, I f***ing get.
With the vibes.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn.
Just when you thought you'd seen it all, new footage has surfaced linking Diddy and Tom Cruise, two of the most untouchable figures in Hollywood, in ways no one saw coming. Diddy's infamous parties, already legendary for their secrecy and scandal, are rumored to have involved hidden recordings of some major stars, including Cruise. But it gets even messier. With Diddy facing charges and a possible plea deal, this footage could change everything, especially with Cruise's deep ties to the Church of Scientology. Let's get into it because these connections run deeper than anyone expected. First off, let's talk about how Scientology snagged Cruise in the first place. Cruise didn't just stumble into Scientology. He was actively recruited in the 80s, and his connection to the church goes back decades. Cruise's rise in Scientology started with his marriage to Mimi Rogers, a second-generation Scientologist who introduced him to the religion at a pivotal point in his career. Scientology's plan leveraged Cruise's fame to spread their message and boost their image, and it worked. He became their poster boy, using his star power to attract more people to the organization.
I don't know real churches who demand families to break apart if one feels that they should leave.
I was told from them that it was because Nicole Kidman was an influence on him.
And not a good one.
And not a good one.
Is it possible for Tom Cruise to have a partner and not, who's not a participant of the church and stay in the church?
But that was only the beginning. When Cruise later met Nicole Kidman, the church allegedly supported the transition, despite Kidman's hesitancy about Scientology. Kidman wasn't as committed, and that eventually created tension in the marriage. Scientology's influence continued to grow in Cruise's life, even straining his relationship with Kidman to the point of a split, partially over their youngin's involvement in the church. This loyalty to Scientology shaped his image and his life, as the church promoted him as their ideal success story.
I remember being so nervous and seeing Tom Cruise drive up in a Porsche, I think it was, and he got out of the car and walked through, and I was like, and my jaw dropped.
Now, Cruise's commitment didn't just stop at Sunday services. He's deeply connected to the Sea Org, Scientology's elite unit, known for extreme dedication and strict discipline. Sea Org members live under heavy surveillance, tight schedules, and total control over their lives. Reports even say Cruise witnessed some of the strict punishments given to members, reinforcing his admiration for the church's discipline. This allegiance to Scientology's rigid structure influenced Cruise's own demanding and perfectionist public image, adding to the intensity we see in his roles and stunts.
You know what? It's something that has helped me incredibly in my life.
Yeah.
I've been a Scientologist for over 30 years,
Yeah.
and it's something that, as you know, without it, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Hollywood insiders say this demand for control didn't just affect his work, it spilled over into his personal relationships. Known for his public stunts and heroic image, Cruise's attachment to Scientology added a layer of arrogance that made him difficult to work with. Brad Pitt, who starred with Cruise in Interview with the Vampire, even said he wouldn't work with him again due to Cruise's intense nature. But here's where things get even more intense. Cruise's loyalty to Scientology isn't just surface level. He credits the church with helping him overcome personal struggles, like his battle with dyslexia. Scientology's unique study methods convinced Cruise they cured him, further tightening their grip on his life. His devotion grew, and by the early 2000s, he was actively promoting Scientology in the media, which only strengthened the church's hold on him.
Orgs are there to help, okay? But we as also the public, we have a responsibility. It's not just the orgs. It's not just Dave Miscavige. It's not just me. It's you.
However, that devotion backfired in some public situations. In interviews, like the famous one with Matt Lauer, Cruise's intensity led to public outbursts, revealing how strongly he felt about Scientology's beliefs, especially regarding psychiatry. The interview didn't just shock viewers, it highlighted the church's influence over Cruise's worldview and his disdain for criticism. If tapes surface showing Cruise at Diddy's parties, it could seriously shake this carefully controlled image, which Scientology has spent years building.
It's very impressive to listen to you because clearly you've done the homework and you know the subject.
And you should. And you should do that also, because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough. You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm not prescribing Ritalin, Tom.
Now, let's talk about Katie Holmes. After Kidman, Scientology wanted Cruise to marry within the church, but he instead fell for Holmes, who wasn't a Scientologist. They had a whirlwind romance, but soon after the wedding, Holmes reportedly grew wary of Scientology's control over her and their daughter, Suri. Worried about Suri being raised under the church's strict rules, Holmes took careful steps to escape. Filing for divorce while Cruise was abroad, Holmes broke free, protecting herself and her daughter from Scientology's grip.
Listen, at a time, Katie is on my radar. Like, I was like, she wrote a report on me, an internal report on me. I got a stack of reports like this. Like,
Holmes's exit was a massive PR hit for Scientology and Cruise, and it raised questions about the church's influence on personal relationships. If Cruise's rumored appearance on Diddy's tapes is real, it might reveal a whole new layer to the pressures and controversies that Holmes tried to shield herself and Suri from.
okay, I get that you're married to Tom, but in my eyes, I'm a better Scientologist than Tom. So we're not, like, I don't give a crap about that. So, and we all are supposed to be equal, right?
Now here's where the Diddy connection comes in and changes everything. I mean, their friendship, that's been a head scratcher for years. Now, they don't have similar backgrounds, but fans have been curious for ages about how close they really are. And as it turns out, this bond might go deeper than we ever thought, with secrets they'd probably want to keep hidden. They've both had massive highs and some serious lows. But lately, it's the stuff between them that's stealing the spotlight. And trust me, their connection goes way beyond industry support. It's a mix of private scenes, intense loyalty, and possibly shared secrets. And get this, Hollywood insiders are already buzzing. And with this new footage from Diddy's party making the rounds, both of these icons might be in for a rough ride. But that's not all. Diddy's name is now popping up with Scientology, the same group Cruise has been a spokesperson for since forever. He's been seen at events and cozying up to well-known Scientologists, fueling a lot of speculation. And Scientology isn't just about self-improvement. It's also known for giving its celeb members a serious boost in visibility. And, let's be real, a bit of a safety net against public backlash. For Diddy, who's no stranger to drama, this tie adds a whole new layer to his connection with Cruise. And here's where things get even juicier. This new footage from Diddy's parties isn't just some random clips of two friends hanging out. Allegedly, these parties had hidden cameras capturing Hollywood stars in some seriously questionable situations. With Diddy's arrest, those tapes might just come out. And if Cruise is on any of them, it could spell disaster, not just for him, but for Scientology's already fragile reputation. This isn't just celebrity gossip. This could be the kind of scandal that shakes Hollywood to its core. But to make things worse, we're now seeing just how deep Hollywood's influence really goes. And it's not all glitz and glamour. YouTuber Aaron Smith Levin recently threw out a theory that actor Danny Masterson, who's been hit with serious accusations, may have been influenced by none other than Diddy's lifestyle. According to Smith Levin, Diddy's parties, known for their chaotic and manipulative scenes, might have set the stage for Masterson's alleged behavior. And it doesn't end there. This connection between big-name stars points to an even darker side of Hollywood's so-called untouchables. Cruise and Diddy both hold insane power, with Cruise using his deep ties to Scientology and Diddy his industry clout. Together, they represent a side of Hollywood that's deeply influential and deeply protected, which begs the question, how far does this power really go?
These are the times now, people, okay? These are the times we will all remember. Were you there? What did you do? I think you know that I am there for you. And I do care so very, very, very much.
Now, let's talk about Diddy's so-called spiritual journey. He's been popping up at Scientology events, which has people wondering, what's his angle? Is this a new part of his image, or is he genuinely searching for something? Scientology's been known to target big names, so Diddy showing up there is definitely raising eyebrows. And with Cruise in the mix, was this journey part of Diddy's way in, or just another Hollywood connection? If Diddy is seriously involved with Scientology, it might explain some of the protection he's had over the years, even through big controversies. And if this connection is about image control, then maybe his friendship with Cruise wasn't just casual. It could could actually be a strategy, a way for both to manage their legacies. But with all these new tapes and allegations, that legacy might not last much longer. Here's the kicker. Diddy's going through a storm right now with all these accusations, but Cruise, he seems totally unaffected. For years, people have whispered about his strange practices with Scientology, and believe it or not, even wilder rumors like Tom's alleged X-rated interactions with fish.
So my TikTok randomly took me down a Tom Cruise lore bitch, and apparently this nigga be f***ing fish, and it's countless witnesses.
Yet, he still gets treated like Hollywood royalty. So, is Cruise just too big to cancel? Has he reached a level where his fame shields him from everything, or is Hollywood just turning a blind eye? And here's the part that'll really make you wonder. Diddy's skeletons are spilling out all over, but nobody seems interested in digging up Cruise's. It's like, for Diddy, the walls are caving in, while Cruise is just sitting back, still untouchable, shielded by his Hollywood status and Scientology's influence. Now, with Diddy facing charges and a possible plea deal, there's a very real chance these recordings could surface as evidence or bargaining chips. If these tapes do exist, they could blow apart everything Scientology has tried to build around Cruise. The organization's disconnect policy, which pressures members to separate from anyone questioning the church, makes it tough for members to leave. If Cruise's reputation crumbles under this scandal, it'll expose the church's tactics, possibly leading others to break free from its grip. And if Diddy really uses these tapes in his legal battle, Cruise and Scientology might face a backlash like never before. This story isn't just about celebrity drama, it's about the hidden power structures that control Hollywood's biggest stars. So, that's the latest on the wild connection between Diddy, Tom Cruise, and Scientology. What's your take? Could these tapes actually tear down everything Cruise and the church have fought to keep secret? Share your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and trust me, this is just the beginning. Make sure you're here for the next video because you're not going to want to miss what's coming next.
We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together. And he came over and I was like, I'm going for a run. He's like, oh, I'll go for a run with you. And so he comes over to go for a run.
So I guess I never realized how close Ashton Kutcher is with P. Diddy. I had no idea that they had been friends for years and Ashton Kutcher used to attend Diddy's white parties. Like Diddy and Ashton have been close even back when he was married to Demi Moore. And
more backlash today for Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis after their video explaining why they wrote letters of support for convicted rapist Danny Masterson.
Did you know that Ashton Kutcher and Diddy's bromance goes all the way back? They used to be tight and they still might be. They shared their love for running and many other hobbies, but now rumor has it they shared more than that. We've all heard of the rumors of Diddy being involved with other male celebrities. We've had Meek Mill, Usher, Ja Rule, you name it. Now Ashton is entering the mix, and apparently he's all about supporting Diddy in the middle of this mess, and we know he's pretty keen on being on the wrong side of the fight. Remember Danny Masterson, their co-star from that 70s show? Yeah, well, he's in hot water after being convicted of coercing 2 women last year, and guess what? Kutcher and Kunis were among those who vouched for him, asking for a lighter sentence. So yeah, Ashton might have closed an eye to all the messed up stuff Diddy did in front of him. With all the Sean Combs drama blowing up the internet and the feds getting nosy, it seems like everyone's getting sucked into the whirlwind. Enter Ashton Kutcher, longtime buddy of Sean's and a major player in the entertainment scene. These two go way back, like back-to-back marathons in NYC kind of back. They first clicked in 2003 while cooking up shows for MTV. Back in 2018, Diddy and Kutcher talked about their bromance on The Late Late Show with James Corden. Diddy mentioned that he was doing Making the Band on MTV, while Kutcher was doing Punk'd, and he was scared about being pranked.
I gave him a call one day and I said, I heard that you are going to punk me and I just don't think that's a good idea.
Then Kutcher jumped in with a grin, suggesting that Diddy's wording might have been a bit different. He recalled the conversation as Diddy warning him that if he went through with the prank, it wouldn't end well for him, but they should work out a deal instead.
I don't think that's the way you said it. I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, then you tell the story. I'm pretty sure that's not the way you said it. I don't think that's a good idea. Is that what you said? Please don't punk me.
But now, Ashton's caught in the crossfire, all thanks to some old remarks of his that decided to resurface at the worst possible time. Picture this, Ashton on Hot Ones with Sean Evans, tackling those spicy wings like a champ. Evans throws a curveball, asking about Sean's infamous parties. Just when we're expecting some juicy details, Kutcher drops the bomb that he can't say anything on the matter.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote.
Oh, really?
One, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, Can't tell that one either. I mean, I was like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punk. Because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't want to tell you, everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation.
Looks like some secrets are staying under wraps for now. Smooth dodge, right? Fast forward to today, and people are side-eyeing Ashton, wondering if he knew more than he let on about what went down at those wild gatherings. And this ain't Ashton's first rodeo in the court of public opinion. Just last year, he and Mila Kunis got flack for standing by their That 70s Show co-star, Danny Masterson, who got slapped with a hefty sentence for some serious charges. Turns out Ashton and Mila were among the crew who vouched for Masterson's character, calling him everything from a role model to an outstanding older brother figure. They started with, as a friend, Danny has been nothing but a positive influence on me. He's an extraordinarily honest and intentional human being. As a role model, Danny has consistently been an excellent one. I attribute not falling into the typical Hollywood life of drugs directly to Danny. Anytime that we were to meet someone or interact with someone who was on drugs or did drugs, he made it clear that that wouldn't be a good person to be friends with. Then the letter continued, I am grateful to him for that positive peer pressure. He also set an extraordinary standard around how you treat other people. He has always treated people with decency, equality, and generosity. Danny had his daughter a year before I had mine. He set a standard of being a hands-on dad. We have spent countless hours together with our kids, and he is among few people that I would trust to be alone with my son and daughter. And they ended it with, we have spent hundreds of hours working together. Danny takes his job seriously. He is kind, courteous, and hardworking. He treated everyone from the grips to the teamsters to the actors to the caterers as equals. He showed up on time all the time and always pulled his weight. We have also traveled around the world together, promoting our work. I can honestly say that no matter where we were or who we were with, I never saw my friend be anything other than the guy I have described. But when their letters went public, the backlash hit hard. So hard that they had to whip up an apology video real quick.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. We're sorry if that has taken place.
But you already know that the fans were not fooled by it. They're actors and they couldn't even pretend they meant these words. I guess they needed a director for this sad excuse of an apology. Very pathetic. And Mila, we can tell you were reading from a script. So, add this to the mix. Ashton and Mila actually stepped down from their roles at Thorn, that anti-child exploitation organization Kutcher co-founded with Demi Moore back in 2009. The 40-year-old actors' nonprofit organization, Thorn, Digital Defenders of Children, assisted law enforcement in identifying 5,994 child trafficking victims and rescuing 103 children from situations where their SA was recorded and distributed last year, according to the organization's own 2017 impact report. Yeah, Ashton's all about saving kids from harm's way until his friends do it, and he suddenly turns a blind eye, and the people are noticing that too. One said, I've always thought that him saving kids was just him hiding what he's really doing. Now, rumor has it, Ashton's past remarks might have landed him in some seriously hot water. We're talking federal investigators with a keen interest in what exactly went down at those infamous Diddy parties Ashton hinted at but never fully spilled the tea on. So, yeah, Ashton's finding himself in some sticky situations lately. From dodging spicy questions to dealing with fallout from past support, it's a wild ride for him. But hey, if he was able to close an eye for his friend Danny, why wouldn't he do the same for Diddy? This is what makes the whole situation even shadier. But one thing is for sure, after all the backlash they faced with Danny, they're going to stay quiet now. There is no way in hell Ashton or Mila Mila will be showing any sort of public support for Diddy right now, an unnamed source told the Daily Mail. Regardless of Ashton's long history with him, he has distanced himself from Diddy since ex-girlfriend Cassie's lawsuit, and even more so in the wake of the new ones. Mila will not let Ashton be in any sort of contact. He is expecting a subpoena, as they have been good friends for 20 years. Word on the street is subpoenas are flying left and right, targeting anyone who might have rubbed elbows with Diddy. And guess whose name's expected to pop up on those subpoenas? You got it, Ashton Kutcher. If they uncover any dirt, things could get seriously messy. They're casting a wide net with these subpoenas, trying to piece together the whole picture. And if Ashton's dragged into this mess, it's starting to look like a whole bunch of people might find themselves tangled up in Diddy's drama. No one wants to be associated with a full-blown investigation, right? Even Cat Williams threw in his 2 cents, warning people to steer clear of Diddy's parties.
Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
Seems like they're not your average shindig, more like a VIP ticket to potential trouble. And let's not forget what Jaguar Wright spilled about Diddy's parties. Allegedly, he's inviting young industry hopefuls and offering them the world in exchange for who knows what. Sounds like a sketchy deal if you ask me. Jaguar dropped a bombshell, recounting a jaw-dropping incident where a female lawyer stumbled upon a young artist getting down and dirty with Diddy in his office. Picture this, the door wasn't even locked, so she waltzed right in. And what did she see? Christopher Williams putting on quite the show for Diddy.
She witnessed something. She witnessed something that was disturbing to her. But what was really disturbing to her was the conversation that she had with Diddy after. See, Christopher Williams, I don't know, I guess he wanted to sign. I don't know what happened. But Puff was supposed to be giving him a demo deal, and he gave him a demo deal, and I guess it was supposed to turn into an album deal, which that never happened. But this young woman walked in to get approval on some paperwork, see. And when she walked in, the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. And when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing for on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, you know, they didn't stop. She just walked out.
But wait, there's more. Jaguar spilled the tea on these parties, revealing that it wasn't just Diddy and his guests getting cozy. Nope, other big shots from Hollywood were allegedly diving headfirst into some steamy activities. Diddy himself has openly admitted to introducing artists like Usher to the adult lifestyle when they were still wet behind the ears.
We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like? I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. It was pretty wild. There were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand.
And let's not forget when Diddy invited Fabulous to one of these shindigs.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit. I like that.
I'll be practicing.
Fabulous spilled later that it was so charged with erotic energy, he had to pull the classic bathroom escape move just to catch a breather. Apparently, Luke from 2 Live Crew even made a swift exit, signaling that things were just too out of control.
Did you party with Diddy a lot?
Oh, no, not really. I would go to the party and leave early. Why wouldn't you stay? I go to the party and leave early. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on after hours, but
he wasn't trying to find out.
I wasn't trying to find out.
Now, on to the main event. Diddy's homes in LA and Miami got raided, and it wasn't for a casual visit. Nope, they're the target of a full-blown federal investigation led by none other than the Department of Homeland Security. This probe, headed by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, is diving deep into allegations of serious misconduct, including those of an SA nature. HSI agents weren't playing around. They rolled up in armored vehicles and turned those homes upside down. Why? Because they believe Diddy's crew and private security might be holding on to some incriminating evidence. This investigation has been fueled by civil lawsuits and allegations filed against Diddy, painting a grim picture of what might have been going on behind closed doors. HSI ain't holding back, working hand in hand with local law enforcement to unravel this mystery. Rumors were swirling that Diddy made a swift exit from his mansion when the authorities came knocking. They didn't find him, but they did detain his sons, Christian and Justin. Some people found it pretty heartbreaking that Diddy would leave his own flesh and blood hanging like that. I mean, where was he while all this chaos was going down? Homeland Security ain't exactly known for playing nice. They roll up with guns and tanks ready to throw down at the slightest hint of trouble. So you can imagine the shock when Diddy was spotted pacing outside Miami airport, not lounging on some private island like the rumors suggested. People were scratching their heads, wondering what his next move would be. Some speculated he was cooking up a plan to vanish into thin air, leaving no trace behind. The next day, his attorney came out swinging, denouncing the raid as an excessive use of force. They made it clear that Diddy wasn't detained, but instead cooperated with the authorities. Yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. His attorney went on to slam the whole thing as a witch hunt, insisting that Diddy is innocent and will fight tooth and nail to clear his name. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. But get this, the investigation was so hush-hush that even some of the agents on the raid didn't know whose house they were hitting until they showed up. Now let's rewind to those lawsuits that kicked this whole thing off. They accused Diddy of some pretty heinous stuff, SA, shootings, you name it. There were even allegations about him spiking drinks and messing with barely legal people. One lawsuit even claimed he manipulated Cassie when she was just 19, and the list goes on. Cassie herself filed a lawsuit describing Diddy as vicious and controlling, accusing him of years of violence. Diddy was basically pulling all the strings in Cassie's life, from her bank account to her medical records. Cassie spilled that an MRI showed she was losing her memory, and she blamed it on Diddy's aggressive behavior and the pills he kept pushing her to pop, especially those heavy-duty painkillers. Back in 2016, Cassie tried to cut ties with Diddy, and let's just say things got wild. The cops had to swoop in, but she didn't press charges because she was genuinely scared of Diddy's unpredictable side. After their blowout fights, he tried to play nice by showering her with fancy gifts, but Cassie spilled a different story. He ended up stashing her away in hotels for recovery. But wait, there's more. Diddy was accused of using Cassie in some seriously messed up ways, like getting her mixed up with other dudes for his own twisted thrills. Things escalated when Cassie started getting into some explicit stuff for cash, and get this, Diddy supposedly recorded it all just to keep her in line in case she tried to take legal action. Escaping that mess was like dodging a bullet for Cassie. Diddy used his connections to cut her off from friends and family, leaving her feeling trapped and scared for her safety. And in 2018, things took a darker turn when he allegedly barged into her place and forced her into some seriously non-consensual stuff. Even after she managed to break free, Diddy was still on her tail, trying to keep tabs on her every move. And just when you thought Diddy's drama couldn't get any crazier, boom, more serious accusations dropped. An unnamed woman filed a lawsuit claiming that way back in the early 90s, Diddy and R&B singer Aaron Hall allegedly SA'd her and her friend at Hall's place. And then another lawsuit's dropped on Diddy, and this time, it's next level messed up. Okay, picture this. Back in 2003, this young woman, way too young mind you, finds herself in Diddy's studio and things go dark real quick. She's claiming that Diddy, his right-hand man Harv Pierre, and some mystery third wheel did some downright horrific stuff to her. It all starts innocently enough. She's chilling in a Detroit lounge when Harv Pierre swoops in, dropping compliments and name-dropping Diddy like it's NBD. Next thing she knows, she's on a private jet to New York with Diddy himself. Sounds glamorous, right? Wrong. Turns out this trip wasn't all champagne and luxury. Nope, once they hit Diddy's studio in Jersey, things take a sinister turn. The lawsuit paints a chilling picture. Booze flowing, unwanted advances, and hands where they shouldn't be. Rolling Stone even got their hands on legal docs with color pics from inside Diddy's studio that night. And yeah, one of them shows this girl sitting on Diddy's lap. Not a good look, to say the least. So, yeah, it's shades of R. Kelly vibes all over again. The details are disturbing, to say the least. The lawsuit showed that the girl got more and more wasted to the point she could barely see. That's when Diddy took her to the bathroom, stripped her naked, and well, you can imagine what happened next. After Diddy has his go, the girl is fading in and out at this point, and when she looks in the mirror, she sees it's not Diddy there anymore, but instead, the mystery guy from the plane had taken over. He was doing some pretty messed up stuff while Diddy was right outside the bathroom watching the whole thing happen. Then Pierre took over and did the same forceful stuff the other two did. Miss Doe remembers that Mr. Pierre was sweaty and that she had difficulty breathing. The lawsuit alleges when Mr. Pierre finished, he left Miss Doe in the bathroom alone. Miss Doe fell into the fetal position and lay on the floor. She was in pain, so once the girl kind of got herself together with a bit of help, they took her back to the airport and flew her back to Michigan. Then we've got Lil Rod stepping into the ring with some serious accusations against Diddy. Lil Rod's not holding back. He's throwing around claims of SA and shady party business, and he's not just asking for a slap on the wrist. No, he's aiming high with a whopping $30 million in damages. It's like the legal fight of the century unfolding right before our eyes. But Diddy's not taking these allegations lying down. His team is firing back, calling Lil Rod's claims pure fiction and a cheap ploy for attention. Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. His reckless name-dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. They're pulling out all the stops to defend Diddy's reputation, but with allegations this serious, it's anyone's game. Now here's where things start to get really juicy. This lawsuit isn't just about Diddy, it's pulling in a whole cast of characters. We're talking about names like Christina Koram, Lucian Grange, and Ethiopia Habtemariam, all caught up in this tangled web of legal drama. But that's not even half of it. This lawsuit is dropping bombshells left and right. We're talking about allegations of Diddy strong-arming Lil Rod into some seriously uncomfortable situations, even involving S-workers and some seriously unwanted bedroom activities. It's like something straight out of a scandalous TV show, but this is real life. And if you thought it couldn't get any crazier, think again. Lil Rod's not just making empty claims, he's got receipts. That's right, he's got video and audio evidence backing up his allegations, capturing everything from shady parties to some seriously sketchy encounters. This Diddy saga is far from over, and the thing is, he's not the one going down. Yep, all his friends and accomplices are shaking in their boots right now, just waiting to get the call. And Ashton Kutcher is one of them. Honestly, people aren't even sad that he's finally being exposed for who he truly is. One said, "You're only as good as the men you hang with." And Ashton knows a lot. Come on, they've known each other 20 years. He's been at the parties. He knows. Another pointed out, could you imagine Ashton Kutcher thinking about all the freaky stuff he did over Diddy's house and not knowing if it was video recorded or not? Yeah, if he's part of those Diddy tapes, it's over for him. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep this conversation going. And don't forget to watch this next video too.